Family was the talk shows Find Your Voice lead. I'm on my own today, guys, and I'm so sorry that I'm late. I had an emergency, family emergency, doctors, so I had to take my daughter to the doctors, and we are back home now for now. So if her temperature goes down, we stay at home. If it doesn't go down, we go to the hospital. So that is the situation. But at the moment, she's eating. Um, she seems to be picking up. I hope it stays that way. But I'm here now anyway. So I hope you guys are okay and looking forward to um, the Friday. Looking forward to Friday. Today is Friday. And I'm sure everyone is excited. Love to hear what you guys have got plans for Friday for the weekend. I What am I doing for the weekend? Actually, I'm not sure what I'm doing for the weekend. I'll check with my family what they're up to, and then they will take it from there. Now that my daughter, she's not well, so that means uh, that means we might have to stay here. Hopefully, we're not gonna have to spend time in hospital. So the topic today, I'm trying to share my life. The topic today is dating is not a loving relationship. All too often, when people think of dating, abuse, they think of sexually and physically abuse. These types of abuse they are inexcusable to be sure, but for more substantive forms of abuse, such as verbally and emotionally abuse, can often more damage and very easily recognized. And sometimes people they actually you talk about the abuse. Some people don't. They will tolerate emotional abuse. They will tolerate verbal abuse because to them they think it's normal. And I have gone through life where I will see people going through the abuse, but when they're going through the abuse, forgive me, guys, I'm trying to share the broadcast. So when they're going through that abuse, they'll make an excuse for the person. No, he's doing what he's doing because of this. They always have these excuses that they have for people that are abusive in a relationship. And that is often people, they overlook it when if your partner is telling you that you are unworthy in some way, how would that make you feel? What do you think is that abuse? Do you have to take it? For me personally, I feel that is abuse. You don't need to take it. When someone does something, uh, does things like that is really about their own insecurity. They have some fairly serious issues, the underlying problems that they need to deal with. If they were truly confident in the person, in their own skin, they wouldn't be saying those words to you, because normally people say how they feel to other people. And if they were truly confident as well uh, with what they have to offer in a relationship, they wouldn't need to use scare tactics or try and maintain their relationship. It's not, they don't have to do that. The problem is that many people are so hungry for some sort of love and affection that they will accept this form of love. People are, I wouldn't say they're desperate. That wouldn't be the right word to use, desperate, but they are so hungry to be in a relationship, and they will take anything that comes along with it. So I'm sure you guys have gone through friends that are taking the abuse uh, in their relationship, and they will make an excuse for that person that, or it is okay for somebody because they're doing what they're doing because of this. The excuses are there, but you don't have to. If you have gone through that, you don't have to go through that pain of abuse. That's a form of abuse, and you have to understand the difference between love and abuse before you can ever hope to actually have a truly loving and satisfying a relationship, fulfilling the relationship. So I'm going to share with you some common misinterpretation of what love is. If your partner's text you hundred of times a day, is it love to you? To me, that's not love. I do not need anyone to text me 100 times a day. It is controlling and it's childish. Uh, Most of the time, they are worried about what you are doing and who is insecurity. And true love would trust that their partner loves them. In return, they wouldn't feel they need to keep tabs or keep texting you or keep calling you or keep emailing you throughout the day. That's not love. Maybe asking, where are you? Where are you? What are you doing? What are you doing with? Or if you don't answer the phone, they feel really upset or getting over jealousy when you are talking to someone else. But some people will take it, and some people may be flattered by the attention and think that it means their partner really loves them. They'll be like, wow, he loves me so much. He cannot bear the thought of going 2 hours, 1 hour without talking to me. So if that's what you're going, if that's why you call it love, think again. Think again. Those who are in a relationship and going through that kind of a situation. If your partner is so insecure that they fly into a rage just because you talked to someone else, or only do they not love you, or they don't love themselves, again, it comes back to lack of self-esteem. That leads to fear and the need to control. With abuse, if it's necessary, it's not love. So I don't know what you guys think. And the other one, number three, making fun of your friends. Some people make fun of your friends, the way you dress. They make fun of you, the way you dress and look at you. Your weight, they'll make fun of your weight, the way you cook food. None of these things is a problem if it's done occasionally. And if it's done all the time, with few or no times when they are complimentary of you, is abuse. In other words, does your partner spend most of their time making you feel good about yourself and your life? So you guys, I'll leave you that to evaluate that. Or do they spend most of their time cutting you down and making you feel like a failure? What do you think? Do they spend time making you feel like a failure? Playing games by flirting with others, flirting, they flirt, like it, making you feel jealous, trying to make you feel like jealousy unworthy. I, I've seen girls, they try to make their spouse or men and try to make their girls feel jealousy, but that is destroying somebody. When somebody makes you feel jealousy, it destroys you inside, guys. I don't know about you, but I will feel myself, I'll feel destroyed if someone was trying to make me jealous. Because to me, if you want my attention, you can have it all instead of trying to do other things to make me feel jealous. That's playing mind games. So I would love to hear you guys what you think about this topic. Is it, or do you think that is mind games or is it normal? I in my heart, I know that there are some men who are going through abuse. There are women who go through abuse. That people play mind games like I want him to want me more. But if you play somebody mind games with that person and they want you more, uh, I hate to sound like a broken record, but so many of these are unappealing behavior can be traced directly back to a person of low esteem. Because the truth is that when you have um, someone like themselves, they simply don't need to control others. Uh, if you love yourself that much and you accept yourself that much, and you don't need to play games, you don't need to flirt with somebody to get more attention to somebody. That's insecurity. So if anyone has ever been told that you have to play mind games, don't fall into that trap thinking that the bad relationship you are in is really a sign of dating abuse, but rather just the way your partner is. Abuse is abuse, whether it's emotionally, verbally, physically, sexually. Don't have to put up with it, but I'm afraid some women, some men, they put up with it. They put up with it, they make excuses for the people who are uh, abusing them. And let's look at avoid abusing in a relationship. Something that happens all too often these days is the rise of abusive relationship. Abusive relationship rises every single day. During the pandemic, the abusive relationship and uh, sometimes it's better of this type of when you go through this abuse, believe it or not, there are ways to avoid abuse becoming not becoming part of that abuse or part of that relationship. Uh, if you get involved, if you get attracted to lunatics, when we do things continuously, uh, in my church we call it a reproach. Uh, where you find yourself where like sometimes you're attracted to bad guys. So you have to cut that cord if you're somebody who's attracted to bad guys. You cut the cord of that. By cutting the cord of that, you can use the prayer to carry off any repeated problems in my life, any abusive, any power of abusive, because the universe, your energy gets linked to the universe. You get attracted to the same thing all the time. So you can carry off, break that code, uh, which is a reproach. But if you don't carry it, you keep reproaching, like that means you keep dating the wrong guys, they'll keep showing up because the signs are there and you don't see it, so you keep getting attracted to those signs of bad guys. So it's very, very important to know that no, I don't have to go through this. I don't have to be part of this abuse, and just date somebody that you know that they'll treat you right. However, there are nearly always some kicks in the careful when you do things really, really carefully. When you're not carefully, you date the wrong guys. So it's very, very important to actually date to make sure that you cut the cords and date the wrong guys, not the guys that have control issue. Uh, because if that person is a control freak, it may surface. It may surface later when you are dating. But if you do, it does happen up here, address that situation straight away. Or sometimes you'll find the person like you are dating, like maybe when you go and wear something, then come and suggest that a different outfit looks, the outfit looks much better than the red, or sometimes a red dress rather than the black one. If you give into that one, he will do it over and over and over. And you may not notice that the first time that is it, that person is a control freak, but definitely pay attention. Somebody start to detect you all the time. Pay attention. I think I did share my story that when I met my spouse, he was wearing nice clothes, but the shoes was like, I don't know how to describe the shoes, but those shoes to him, they made him comfortable, because for me, I like the guy. I didn't care about his shoes. Uh, and he actually went and changed the shoes and explained that actually I was wearing these shoes because I'm single, and also they are comfortable, and he was happy. So it's very, very important to make sure that we don't really control other people. We let them wear. Or sometimes, guys, in this party, there are some things that where somebody might really, really be genuine. There are some clothes when you wear, they shape your body, you look nice on it, and they become favorite to your spouse. That is different. They're not detecting if they admire it and they say, I like you when you wear that dress and stuff. But some people, they're genuinely giving you compliment. So that is not abusing. Genuinely compliment, guys, you see it when somebody gives it to you. So, and then in the controlling one, where somebody detect your wardrobe all the time, is different. So, and the other thing is controlling where they use techniques of trying to slowly isolate you from your family and friends. Uh, it's usually smart enough to keep you to a minimum, to use things like keep you from realizing what is actually what the plan is. It may be something like telling you that he has a feeling that your parents or sister or anyone doesn't really like them. They might say, oh, maybe your family does not like me, even though you haven't noticed anything or something. They might say those things. So when you care enough about somebody, you would do anything. You want to believe that they are lying to you, or you want to. But if they are lying, so you accept the fact that for yourself to that alert. And make sure you keep an eye of those signs. Most likely, no one has ever said it done anything like that. Maybe the guy has never done anything like that, and there's to keep an eye. Or sometimes, if they may just trying to plant enough doubt in your head that you believe only him, and stay away from those people that don't like him, you end up staying away. That gets you, then you end up being isolated and unprotected from whatever he may do to you next. So uh, make sure that you actually don't allow that behavior. Make sure you don't allow the behavior of someone abusive and isolating you. When these things, when you see the danger signs, it's time to run, not to walk in. Run as far as you can away from this man or away from this woman. It's not just men that are abusive, guys. There are women who are very abusive too. it's only going to get worse. The longer you stay, worse things you can forming with him or under the impression or her under the impression that this person will change. That is never going to happen, never going to change. Things will only get worse. The longer you stay, when you see any of these signs, it's time to cut off loose and move on. If you go through these signs, so what type of abuse in dating that people can experience? There are three main types of dating abuse that that people should be aware when you are one of friends you are dating, or maybe your friends is dating somebody who's abusive. The main type of abuse are physical abuse, and it's real. It happens. Emotional abuse is real, and it happens. Sexually abuse is real, and it happens. These are distinct differences between the three. When you are aware of what each means, then you will be able to identify it at the time. So it's very, very important to actually make sure that when you go through the physical abuse, it happens when somebody actually does something physically to hurt the person or knock the person or balance against their will. Sometimes you will find some people, for example, if a man is upset and at his spouse, maybe he slaps her across like the face. That is then that's physical abuse. Another example is when somebody shoves it out, they shoves you out of the way while you're walking past you, then push you. That's physically abusing. They don't have patience. They don't really care about what they are doing. If she not approve of this or is not in the mood for it, then it can be counted as an abuse. Why would somebody push you? Why would somebody shove you, hit you? Other example is physically dating abuse. When both partners are kicked or scratched, fighting each other, throwing things at each other. Find like couples, they are fighting. Mostly those who are very, very abusive, they're beating each other, throwing things at each other. And the reason why it's so bad is because it can easily escalate into domestic violence where someone can get serious hurt or even killed. If you see that happen, then run quickly, please. If you are somebody or if you witness a friend, the problem is when it comes to friends, if they are going through abuse, the talking is not going to do anything. Emotional abuse happen when one partner calls the other partner names, call you names, put it down. That this happens with physical abuse. Giving one thing it is one thing if when you are giving somebody constructive criticism, but to tear someone down or belittle them, that is abuse, especially in front of other friends and family. It's not good at all. If someone is to point out of something wrong that you did, they need to explain to it nicely. There must not be, they must find a solution to help you. And let's say if you have done something wrong, not to actually belittle you. No one deserves to be called names. No one. Another one is emotionally is abuses when the partner neglects the other partner, or they either keep them apart, seeing friends and family. They don't even spend time with either. So that is emotionally abuse. Either one is dangerous from emotional abuse. See it, then run quickly. Sexual abuse occurs when a partner forces you to do something sexually against your will. Such touching, kissing, having sex when you don't feel like it. This can easily escalate to physical abuse like hitting, shoving, kicking, scratching. If you see any of these forms of on your dating life happening in your relationship or the relationship of the one your friends, tell them, leave quickly. Everyone will be better off. So it's very, very important to know these things and to understand how these things work. And then we go to dating violence. This is important information. It's unlikely, even if one of your friends are victim of violence, there are a number of steps you can take to rectify the situation. And there are three main types of dating violence, including physically, emotionally, and sexually. It's very, very important, guys, to understand that the difference between the three and what you can do in each of these three circumstances. With physically violence, there's hitting involved. It can also be pushing, shoving, slapping the woman. She does not call that abuse, but the fact is that it's physical abuse. Nobody should be shoved down, pushed around, slapped, whack, whack. Nobody deserves. No one. No one deserves to be whacked. No one deserves to be shoved down. No one deserves to be going through that kind of a relationship. It's abuse. This, or if your friend is going through something, a relationship like that, you can help them out, but don't push them, because the people that are going through abusive, if they love somebody, they lose confidence. So we need to understand the state when somebody is going through the abuse. We need to tackle things properly. Instead of pushing that person maybe to say, wow, you don't understand this person is abusing this person is abusing you, to say you don't understand. So what you need to do is, uh, instead of pushing them to report that person, because sometimes friends can, when somebody is going through pain and they don't want to be pushed to do something, you can speak to them and sit them down and say, listen, in this abusive relationship, let them aware that you have their back. And then you know the beautiful thing about when somebody is going through pain, if that person knows that you're not pushing them to report or to leave the relationship, because the more you push them, the more they want to stay. But if you support them and say, listen, I have your back, whatever you need, I have your back, and give them a hug, you make them feel guilty that why is this person not telling me what to do? But they are always there for me. So that means I need to do something for me. So it will help them to decide to leave that relationship. But if you are somebody who doesn't know how the universe works and you push and push and push and push, they're just going to want to stay there. That's what they just gonna do. They just gonna want to stay in an abusive relationship. So it's very, very important to make sure that nobody should be shoved around. Abuse starts with one part of escalate. You can tell when someone is being physically abused when they say things like, "Oh, it was a slap." Make an excuse. It was just a push. One of your friends is going through this, then it out. So you can find ways helping them to get out. And for me, I say pray for somebody that is going through it. Support them and support them and just keep praying for them to make the right decision. Because if you push somebody, you or start yelling. So people they yell, bullying with they start bullying you around. I've gone on the train where I say the woman goes on one, or the man goes on one. You name it, men and women. The abuse is there. Women abuse their spouse, men abuse their spouse. So it's not just if somebody says you deserve to be yelled or be called names, that is also emotional abuse. No one deserves to be called names. No one deserves that kind of treatment. This type of dating violence is unacceptable. So do not be fooled with your spouse trying to make you feel better by buying you present or being really nice to you the following day after the abuse, following the abuse. Don't buy that. Violence is violence. The dating violence is so bad. It's sexually abuse. Maybe somebody tries to force you to kiss him without your permission. Keep in mind that you're drunk. Someone tries to touch you, kiss you, that is also abuse because you are not in your right mind. Send that to that kiss. So make sure when you go out, you remain sober or you have friends that watch your back. You want to tell that you are a victim of dating. So check to see if your partner is checking you. Uh, see where you are, what you're up to. Is or do they get jealous, angry because you have them at least 3 times per day? That is also take all these things into account and so we don't need to have to go through. So what happens when we dating is dealing with a stalker? What happens? Stalker still, even when you do everything right, can still end up with a stalker. So those who say, "Oh, I will never go through that. I will never uh, date somebody that is a stalker," you know, that guy that follows you everywhere, that watches your house, sends you present, calls you constantly, no matter how often you change your phone. That is a stalker. Even manages to get inside your home. It's a very frightening situation to be in. One that too many women have found themselves in the middle of it. Only in recent years, there's been a law implemented to deal with stalker situation, but before there was no law. So for those who didn't know that there is a law that you cannot report if somebody is stalking you, and legal until someone is killed or before the police will not do anything unless if somebody is killed. they wouldn't do anything. It's unfair to blame the increase in stalking victims of such things as the internet. Stalking was around before like this. Before even we use the computers in our homes. Men that stalk women do so for following reasons. They do this because they want to make it difficult to nail down sons that women want. That many times women that are being stalked, victims don't know they are stalker at all. You sometimes you're not being stalked by somebody that you know. They are chosen in various ways. Stalkers may look into your, they may come from work. I had a guy that was stalking me, sending me really messages before, but he stopped now. Or maybe just through, they may stalk you through malls. It may be certain look that draws them into, it might be someone that is actually somebody maybe you went on a date with, or it could be somebody that you know. Friendly women can pick up a stalker through something as simple as chance of chance, like waiting at the checkout, line the supermarket, or line the bank. The stalker may decide to follow you from there. That's what makes it difficult for men to protect themselves from being snagged or stalked. They are just no like sure ways to know who has potential for stalking and who doesn't. Because the stalker may look normal as you are. There are a few things that you can do to protect yourself. First of all, do be very careful about a strange man you date. It's always better to at least a couple of people you trust to recommend someone to you for dating, or just not always, that's not always possible. Rely on your instincts. While there are many men that are perfect hiding their stalking tendencies, there are just so many. Just as many that will send discreet warning signals. So if you do have those signals posed, do not disrupt it. Do not ignore them. This would include things like always turning up unexpectedly when you are, ask you constant questions about the people in your particular males and seem to get angry, or when you can't go out with them. That person is granted a stalker, but you probably don't want to get involved with someone like that anyway. So when you get involved in people like that, please do be careful. Once you receive a strange gift, constant phone calls, or even start seeing a man watching your house from across the street, don't try to handle it yourself. Call the police immediately and get them involved. Many state now officers that specialize in stalking situation, they all have advice to offer. So if you ask them, they'll give you an advice what you need to do. So if you find that somebody is stalking you, don't stay in silence trying to deal with it. Try to get the police involved. So it's good to have that. If you get the police involved in that way, you can call the police if that person is violating the whatever. Best thing you can do is follow the advice of the police, whether they are professional in caring. Because the police are professional and they care about the situation. However, there may be instances where if you can't do whatever you can do, there might be a situation where sometimes you might have to move the area, unless you are brave enough to buy a gun and learn how to shoot it. So I don't know. So some places they do allow them, but some places don't. Don't pick up a stalker online. Those who goes online dating, please don't pick up a stalker. It's not clear what the cause is, but it seems that more and more people are being stalked these days than ever before. It's normal now, people stalking people, but still they don't have the right to do that. It's almost impossible to hide completely since nearly everyone can just by knowing the right keywords to plug into search engine now. Online, Facebook, you can find somebody. Most people, you can even find their phone numbers and address. That is very scary. Online, when you think about it, it's very, very scary. People are also, uh, they are also getting more computers all the time. Now hackers tend to pop up on a fairly regular basis because they can get your information anywhere. Not all of them are good hackers, but they tend to know just enough to find the information they want about someone that makes it all much easier. So that means that even if you don't freely give out your name, address or phone number, that you can still be found and stopped. Somebody was stalking me, sending me hateful messages in my business address. So there are many ways you can do to protect yourself from becoming a victim of stalking, even if you've been indulging in a bit of online dating. Well, at least join the reputable website. It has built a safeguard protection, protecting their members as much as possible. You don't have to put up with any, you don't have to put your truly personal information for public view. This is going to be your, that is your responsibility. So you're going to want to be very cautious. Keep in mind that people can be anything they want now online. Just because they tell you that they are this, it does not mean that they are a wonderful person, no matter what they may be or whatever. Some people will tell you whatever they think you want to hear. So be vigilant. Be vigilant in everything you do. Careful if you decide that you are interested in another member of dating site. You only start slowly, exchange a few emails or several emails so that you can be sure that you want to take this to another level. You probably want to talk to that person on the phone. If you do that, make sure that if they want your number, make sure follow your instinct. And if that person, uh, if whatever they say the eye does not feel right, block that person, block that number so they cannot see you anymore. You can also choose via chat webcam, or as long as your background is pretty generic, they should be pretty safe. Never give up your personal information. You get to know someone pretty well. Don't give up your address. What I do is it's like on Facebook. I think on Facebook I put my real identity. Uh, I don't know whether have I changed my identity or am I still. I'm not sure if I have really put my really date of birth. My date of birth is there, but I think I've put that I'm older than that. Because you never know. Don't give out your personal details. You may even decide along friends so that tell friends, or if you're going on a date, tell people that you trust that you're going on a date. And Wherever you are, make sure that when you meet someone, you meet them in public. Always in public. Don't put yourself in a compromising position that you go back to the place, or you bring him back to your house. That's not something that needs to happen in the very beginning. So you don't need to bring somebody to your house when you go on a date, even though they are 100% guaranteed to be genuine. If you follow a bit of common sense, you should be relatively safe from picking up stalkers. And then there's one, emotionally blackmail relationship. People emotionally, they blackmail their spouse. Many relationship function on a level that isn't healthy at all. Uh, Yet each person seems willing to hold into that relationship at all cost. Their love for each other, desire to remain is stronger than the problem they are going. So sometimes people, they stay in a relationship where they blackmail their spouse if you don't do this. This can be most often seen in case of emotional blackmail. This is where the person behaves inappropriate within the relationship and they blame the other person for the behavior. The partner receives all the blame instantly. They feel guilty, inadequate, and wants to try. They try harder to please because the other person blames them all the time. Being in a relationship where people just blame you all the time. Blame, 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 blame. What man goes out to pick one night stand? Sometimes they do that and they're caught red-handed. Instead of apologizing to their spouse, begging for forgiveness, they will never ever. A man will go and pick a one-night stand. They will never ever apologize. They will immediately blame the partner for not being there for them. And so they have to look elsewhere. They'll be like, I had to look elsewhere because you were not there for me. That's mad. To me, that's madness. It makes a woman feel that as she's not enough. She's not good enough or not doing something right in that relationship. And she tries to make amends for something by doing something right. And she tries to make amends by being desperate and watching her self-esteem going down, dropping lower and lower and lower. And she believes that she's not good enough to please her man. If women that are out there, women do that as well. They will actually make a man feel that he's not worthy. Then they will make their women feel that they are not worthy, really, really worthy. You see, I had to do this because of you. You were not there. This is what this is what the biggest problem, guys. You know, when I told you about Lucifer, is one of the things that he did to me with my family and friends. And I find myself in the middle of everyone is blaming me. And what I decided to shut up, no explaining, because I felt that everyone had already made their own decision that norm such as this, norm such as this, norm such as that. But it was all Lucifer playing mind games with people, wanting people to believe that my character is this. My character was never. But at the end of at that moment, so it was playing mind games of the devil is here to steal, to kill, and to destroy. For me, I was facing death. But because I think what gave me strength, it was knowing that God loves me. He chose me to help me to survive. So instead of me like getting upset, I wouldn't get upset. I'll get on my knees. And I would be so grateful to God and say, God, I'm so grateful that you saved my life. I'm so grateful that you have chosen to save me. And but family members, friends, he will make them think that they're on top of the world. But knowing that he doesn't actually destroy one side, he destroys both. So at the same time, he was destroying them because God wants us to care for one another. He does not want us to destroy each other. So once, if he knows that uh, the other person, let's say, they are being destroyed, and you are not being kind to that person, that can stop the other person entering the kingdom of God. They can be sent to hell because when they knock, unless they ask for forgiveness, uh, if they die and then they go to heaven, they want to go to heaven, God will say, I don't know you. Because, and they'll be like, but God, I know you. You'll be like, no, I don't know you. And then he will show you the sins that my child, they did you the most, but you chose to betray my child, so I don't know you. Because when God doesn't just save somebody, he saves, he loves everybody. We are all his children. So his work does not mean that we have to like somebody because of the title or anything like that. So when somebody makes you feel that you're not good enough, or if it's blame all the time. So for me, if somebody blames me all the time, because my self-esteem, that means it will go low. So I'm like, okay, I don't want to be part of that because that emotionally it is unfair. It's an example. The man is refusing to take responsibility for his indiscretion. The woman is accepting the responsibility for the weakness of another person. If somebody they make a mistake, they cheat on you, they need to beg for forgiveness. There are plenty of situations where emotionally blackmail can exist. Your partner might make you take responsibility for him or her failing to get ahead in a career. You might find that some couples blame each other for being held back financially or for being overweight or for having friends. People blame each other. So I don't blame nobody. I just I just pray to God. There are some parts that I walk and I just say, God, this is the path that I have gone. Take it away, take this pain away, because at the end of the day, I don't know who's responsible with my pain. So the only way for me not to blame anyone is to just pray to God and to take away the pain, to take away the shame, or take away whatever I'm going through that I shouldn't be going through. But in this world, we live in this world where the abuse goes on, it like blaming each other. This one is blaming that one. This one is blaming that one. For me, I just mind my own business. Honestly, I mind my own business. And then if you guys are dating a man or a woman that is, no matter what, how hard you try, emotionally blackmail all the time, that this is a major relationship breakdown. And this is part of, like when I say, I know I put that video, guys, and I said I'm going to tell you the story about my journey with Lucifer. That was the part of what he did. The blame all the time, the blaming all the time. Like you find yourself people blaming and rejecting it, all those things. That is emotionally because he feeds, he wants the depression. But for me, because I had understood what I was going through, and pastors have coached me, this is what we will do, like depression and this. So I was like, okay. But at the end of the day, all I can say to you is don't feel like a stranger in this world. If you have friends that can help you to get out of the situation, seek help, seek professional help, and speak to your friends and members of the family as well. Don't stay in this kind of a situation alone. You don't have to be alone. And it's important to stay calm as well, rational, not the behavior. When somebody is in that behavior, find out why your partner believes you are at fault for his action. Don't accept responsibility for his action. Uh, with both partners in a relationship, it takes a responsibility for their own behavior and action. It's much easier to build a strong partnership based on trust and respect. So can you tell if you are in a toxic relationship? Yes, you can. So how can you tell if you're in that abusive relationship? If somebody verbally, like I've explained, when somebody puts you down all the time, they, they, they're controlling, rating your mail, showing up places you are just, they check up on you, they try to make you depend on them. You have changed things about you. They try to make you depend on them, and they make you feel ill just being around them. So why would anyone want to be around you? They make you feel like you are not worthy emotionally, physically. They harm you, toxic honeymoon period followed by blow up, everything you do followed by reconciliation, at which point the circle begins anew. Like when you first meet a new partner, you are obviously in that honeymoon stage. It is not until you are certain further that you realize that you're in a toxic relationship. At that point, you find it is difficult to get out. But you can still get out, seek help, and to get out. And when you do seek help, one reason that to get out is you have to seek professional help and find those people that care for you. Once you realize that you have a choice, because we all have a choice in life, the next step is to start standing up for yourself. In most toxic relationships, the toxic partner has taught you that it's really your fault. Everything you do, it is your fault, which is, that's what I went through with Lucifer. When he was torturing me, I went through a point where somebody reports me to social services. It started like in 2009. And then before I actually realized what was going, somebody would report me to social services. And then what he would do is once the social services come, because he is a fallen angel, he's a God, he spent time, he is the king in the kingdom of God. The kingdom of Satan is of Satan. He is the God. He has powers. So he knows how God works. So his powers are similar to God. But with him, God is in the throne of grace in the third heaven. God does not need to, he's everywhere. God can, he does not need to move to be in an environment. He can still be in heaven and still be connected with the universe because he is the creator of the earth. But with Lucifer, he has to send something to that place. He cannot be in two places at once. So what he was doing, he was sending people to report me because the brain, he was attacking, he was the insanity, the depression. Once somebody can no longer control themselves, that's where he takes over control. So what he was doing, he'll report me to social services wanting me to fight people. At the time, I didn't realize what was going on until I started really praying and started fasting. And I was like, what do people keep reporting me to the social services? But those people that were reporting me to social services, their lives never remain the same. Because when somebody goes abuse you, that's what he was doing. I'm sharing this as an example, guys. Maybe one day I'll tell the whole story. So when somebody abuses you, so if somebody if he sent somebody, controls somebody to report you to the social services, and meaning social services, in fact, and when they arrive to my house, he pulls them out. He's using the other person, but he wants the insanity to me because I'll be wanting to why. Now I don't know. I don't want to know why. I don't want even because I worked out what he does at the time. I didn't know who I was. I thought I was. That's why it's very, very important, guys. When you are here on earth, you need to know your place on earth, why you are on earth, why you were born. For me, I thought the officer that I thought I was, that's when I realized actually he wants me because I'm not who I thought I was. He wanted what I possess. So in doing so, he had to play mind games. But the problem is the people that actually go and report me to the social services, their lives have never remained the same. They are the same for few months or 1 year. After that, it changes because he comes back. He returns favors. You do bad, I do bad to you. So he returns favors. That means he leaves people with damage. It damages their destinies. So that's what he was doing before we even realized, until me and the people, the pastors that were praying for me, until we realized that this is what he's doing. And since that day when I realized, I was like, I don't want to be part of it. Because he was actually using me as an angel of God to actually destroy people and wanting me to be destroyed, wanting me to go into insanity. But I never went to insanity because what happens is I listen to how it works and the pastors and how to deal with it. And I'm no longer scared of it. When he appears, he does appear. Like the last time when he appears, it was just before Christmas. He appeared and I kick him out. Was it before Christmas or after Christmas? I think after Christmas. Appeared before Christmas and then I kick him out. And then he appeared after in January, I kick him out. So, so those are the things that is the abuse when somebody tries to control you. That insanity making you go insane, your insecurity. That's why these abuse, when somebody is abusing, that's what they want. For some people working in therapy, you can go to working therapy groups. And the good news is that some people are able to break the cycle. You can break the cycle like myself. I was able to break the cycle with the Lucifer by torturing me because he was abusing me emotionally without me realizing. And then when I actually had the pastors, like they were like, Lusa, pray. You can see what he's doing, but we want you to be the one that recognize it. The day I recognized what he was doing, it was the day my story changed. That day, it was the day my story changed. So when I'm talking about the abusive, that's what he does too. So, guys, I'm gonna leave you with this. So, if you believe that you are in a relationship that is a healthy relationship is a two-way street. In a toxic relationship, the street is only going one way. You have the power to change that, but you must take the power into your own hands. It's one way. The abusive relationship is not two ways. Guys, for those who love to blame themselves, it's one way only. And the other one, the receiver has to be bullied. For me, when I say to you guys, I will tell my story about Lucifer, how he worked and how I was able to win the battle with God, is when I chose God And then I chose to research him as well. I chose to say, you know what, I'm going to actually have fun with this thing and see how it works. So it turns out that he just plays with people's mind. Abusive, manipulative, is very, very manipulative. He can do anything. He can play magic. He can do anything that he wants. He can be whatever. He can do whatever he wants. So if you are in a toxic relationship, you have a choice to make a decision and say, you know what? I will take a stand for my life and make a choice and not allow the abuse into my life. You have that choice. So, guys, if you want to talk to any of our coaches or if you want any coaching, please do go to our website at www.hseia.com. And if you're looking for love, please go to the website www.hseia.com. My website is on all my social media. And if you want to subscribe, please, if you're watching this video now or later, please subscribe to our channel on YouTube and like us on Facebook and follow Ngozi Talk Shows and Hope Spring and Unique Billionaire Mindset Group. God bless everyone and live with grace.